Hi everyone, I'm here today at my practice facility at Alton Golf Club, and I'm going to talk to you about the different ways to play a ball onto the green. We're coming into that uh, time of year now where you will be a wedge digging in. So I mean, with my wedge, um, I'm going to go at that back flag. I've got a 58 degree, and my usual play, especially in summer, is the using a wedge up the green. Yeah, it's uphill, first one I've hit today, but okay, so there are different ways to do this, and it doesn't matter if it's summer or it would help with different uh, golf levels. So I'm going to take that down. You'd use a different wedge and you'd play it differently, and this is for 50 degree, which is more bump and run. And then you've got a 54 degree, so you can fly it halfway, not like you're trying to fly a 58 all the way there. 54, try and fly it halfway. Nearly went in. So they're the ways that you would play normality. A lot of people will say when they're off a green, use a putter, and you can use a putter. And we're going to go at this front pin here, and you can use a putter onto a green. But there are other ways to do this. So I'm going to show you through the bag the best way. Okay, not the best way, a way that works for you. So I've got my 25 degree hybrid. Obviously, this is a little bit of a lofted hybrid, but you use it as your putter. So I've got a putter. I'll take my putting stance and I will go at the pin at the back. 25 degree will be not a bad result. So that's 25 degree, but you can go down because you're not always going to have the amount of fluff to get over, which is going to be resistance when you're taking your shot. So this is the 22 degree, or as it is a 19 with mine actually. Same thing, and you're going to be a little bit closer to the green with this one because there's less of this to go over. And you're just rolling it up to the pin, and that works. So that's the hybrid theory. So this is the next one, which is going down through your irons in your bag. So say I'm a little bit further back on the fringe or in a little bit of rough, and you've got to get it to a pin. We'll go to back pin again. This is a pitching wedge. Okay, so I've flown it over this bit, which is where I want to be doing. That's a great. Another thing I was going to say about when you're using something like a pitch wedge or any other club, you can grip hard. If you grip hard, you're more likely, because you're more attached to the arms, to fly through. But if you grip softly, you can get a bit of check. You see how that's checked up? So that's the way to look at that. I'll do that one more time so you can see. I've got a wet club face, which doesn't help, but you see how that's checked when it's hit the ground. It's because when you grip tight, that's attached to your arms, which is really going to end up with a hard impact. But when you've got nothing attached at the end, the club face is going to stop and get that check on for you. So just a little bit of advice there. Say you are a little bit closer to that fringe. Okay, so this is a 7-iron. All I did was just take out that little bit of fringe that it was over. Result, I'll go down to a 6-iron. Again, I'm just taking out that little bit of fringe there, tiny bit. And all I did was go across this little bit of fringe. I hit it a bit hard, but you get the gist of it. That's the idea around the different ways to play onto a green when you are close, a little bit close, a bit further back. Those bump and runs through your irons. You got kind of a bump and run with your hybrids or putting off a green. So I hope that helps for when we go into this new phase and not digging a club down into the ground. And It can also work for people with different disabilities as well, because of the way that the ball will react from the club face. And you don't always have to get spin to be good. You can bump and run to be better.